Hello, welcome to the Two Chicks Homestead Podcast. We are the Two Chicks. Yay!
Hi, I'm Nate.
And I'm Erin, and we talk about homesteading and living on a small piece of land.
All right, everyone, welcome to episode 17.
Yep.
This is going to be an interesting one. We may ruffle some feathers here and there, but... So we keep getting the not direct question, but the other way of saying, is it food or is it a friend?
Yep.
So this one's going to be about the pet mentality versus livestock mentality.
Yep, and kind of just how we've changed.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we have always had a lot of special needs animals. That's kind of what we have.
Yep. We started out with a 3-legged cat that was missing a back leg, and she had had surgery or something. It happened before we got her.
Yep.
And then found another 3-legged cat that was born that way.
Right.
And we still have him.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the blind cat, which we found right after I read Homer. I don't know if there's any readers out there, but that was about a lady who had a blind cat during 9/11, and it was just his life story. And I loved that book. And it was like a week after I finished it, the rescue said, "Would you guys want a blind cat?" And it was like, yeah. Like, it was just, we lived in an apartment, we just worked.
Right.
And, this was, our life when we came home.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, the wonderful assortment of broken animals over the years was in our apartment life.
Yes.
Before we got to the homesteading life.
Right. Yeah, all those 3 cats made one whole cat.
Right. And they were spoiled.
Yes. Yes, they were.
And the 3-legged cat that we have, Timber, who's missing a front leg, is still spoiled to the hilt by the girls.
Yep.
And he is getting to be an old man. He's 12?
Yeah, I think he just turned 12.
So, but he is definitely our pet.
Mm-hmm.
He gets spoiled. We play with him. We buy him a whole bunch of treats. Usually he sits around and cries. He eats people food.
He sits on your shoulders at night.
Sits on my shoulders. Sleeps with... Generally now it's been the kids. That's where I find him in the morning. He's usually sleeping in the oldest's bed.
Yep.
So I lost my cuddle buddy at night. So it is what it is. But from that point on, we got the chickens.
Right. And that was a big change, because I know with the girls, the first thing we told them was, these are outside animals.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime we go out there, you need to be prepared that there could be blood.
Right.
Something could have happened. Because at first we had no idea, what to expect. You hear, we had friends that would have, free-ranging chickens, and, every couple of days, I lost one, or blah, blah, blah. But, even though ours was in a coop, we still didn't know what to expect.
Right.
So it was like, okay, when, just be prepared when you go out there that anything could have happened overnight.
Yeah. And we have had a few things happen.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been some overnight injuries just amongst themselves. And, we walked out one day and,
half the head was missing.
Yeah.
Skin-wise.
It was like, there's the scalp.
Yep.
So.
But we were prepared for that, and the girls were prepared for that.
Yeah, because that was one thing we did was...
Right. But when we first got them, we were still on the pet mentality.
We were. And I know we've brought up putting the coop in the wrong spot. Mm-hmm. And that was mostly me, because I said, I want to sit on the couch and look out the window and see the chickens and make sure they're okay. And while I still like doing that, a lot has changed, over the past couple of years. We made this wall hanging. Like, we built this wall hanging with, strips of wood. And all the girls and we painted all the chickens' names on each strips, and it's hanging on the wall. And so it's got, Chocolate Muffin and Boomba and Princess Leia and Liberty and Belle and I don't remember who else. And then now we joke that these ones are called, get out of the way, hurry up,
Yeah.
get away from the door, stop
Yeah.
coming up to me. So
But-
it's funny how it changes.
Yeah, I mean, we learned real quick with this flock, they quit laying. Like, after a while, that was it. We were only getting 1 or 2 eggs
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, we're not paying for free animals.
Well, and the thing is, we can't just keep adding chickens. I mean, we
Right.
are in city limits. We do, I mean, our coop does only hold so many.
Right.
I mean, we're not going to keep putting more chickens in there. So, yeah, to get a new flock, we had to,
Right.
Get
And,
rid of
and
the old
we
one.
had to get the girls ready for that.
Yep.
And we told them, we understand you name these guys. We can do one of 2 things. We can send them to a retirement farm, which is your brother's.
well, I think we were planning on butchering them.
Yeah.
And then, my brother said, well, you guys can bring them to our place.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we couldn't say, well, no, we would much rather, butcher them, because that's not true.
Right. But I mean, it's with me. I would have preferred to do it that way. So they're dual purpose. You just
Yeah.
put them in the freezer.
Yep.
And we weren't thinking like that back then either.
No, yeah.
It was like, oh, these guys will lay 4 or 5 years and we'll be good. So not really. We got about 2,
Yeah.
2.5.
So yeah, it's just interesting to see how it's changed. And I know, I mean, moving on to the rabbits,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't talk about that for a long time. I mean,
No.
even though we got them in the middle of, all the garbage
yeah.
with,
Yeah.
illnesses and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that it still seemed like, okay, we just bought these cute fuzzy animals,
Right.
and then we're gonna eat them. And it was just one of those things where it was like, I cannot tell people that we're doing this.
Right. Because they immediately jump to the, oh my God, they're so cute.
Yeah.
But you get to the point where you start actually looking into it and meeting other people that do rabbits or want to do rabbits
Yeah.
and look at you and go, that's a great idea.
And
I
I-
didn't realize it would do that much. I didn't realize it was that easy.
And I think that's when it was easier to talk about it, was when we were successful. I mean, we had full freezers.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to, give some away to people to try.
Right.
And it was like, you know what? Why am I feeling bad about this? Like, this is
Right.
what people do. This is not
Absolutely.
anything bad.
And I wish we had found out about the rabbits when we lived in the HOA. Because I totally would have had a trio of rabbits in the garage.
Yeah, it's definitely not something that is on your radar until it's on your radar.
Yeah, I mean, I would have done that. I would have ripped those cabinets out that we had in that garage
Yeah.
and done a trio right there.
Yeah, we just weren't thinking that way back
No.
then.
No, not at all.
I mean, we kind of had, a little bit. We did a little bit of the gardening. But, I mean, yeah, we weren't thinking like that back then.
No. And we had to prepare ourselves because we didn't know what to expect with the rabbits either. And knowing, the way I am, I do all the research. And you hear about all the failures with
Yeah.
rabbits. And you hear about every single doe losing that first batch of kits.
Yeah.
And we got little kids here that see their rabbits, and then, you see what happens to a rabbit that doesn't deliver successfully.
Right.
It may end up dead
Yeah.
in the cage, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
So we had to get the girls really prepared.
And that's something that, I mean, now that you say that, we probably should reinforce again. Especially when we start to add more. I mean, the
Yeah.
more animals you have, the more issues you're going to have. It's just
Right.
how it works. That, yeah, we could come out one day and, yeah, anything could have happened.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
Nature or
Yeah.
anything.
Something might get into the cage, which is something I always worry about.
Yeah.
Because they're just out in the open.
Yeah.
There's nothing around them that, other than the cage they are physically in, protecting them. But I mean, that's 14 gauge wire, so it's pretty thick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would come out in the morning and see a doe that didn't get all the babies in the nest box, and it was just like, well, shoot.
Yeah.
You guys aren't pets, but we treat them like pets to an extent.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we take care of them. Our buck has an eye issue going on. I mean, we bought medicine
Right.
to put on it. We're not going to let them suffer just
No.
because they work. I mean, we still give them treats and take care of them and pet them and,
Yeah.
give them love. And same with the babies. I mean, the kids are out there today,
Get it
holding the
together.
babies. And it's like, you know how it ends, but you just enjoy it while they're here. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, we have 4-day-old babies outside, and they're cute.
Mm-hmm.
The girls love, petting them, seeing them, and it's probably 3-4 times a day. Dad, can we see the
Yeah.
rabbits? Can you take them out? I want to look at them. I want to hold them.
I mean, it
wanna
has
play
been a
with 'em."
long time since we've
Yes.
had kids. So.
Yes. And there still could be things that could go wrong.
Yeah.
It's just, it's
We've got
reality.
12 weeks of any possibility.
Right. And then if we're gonna have holdbacks, if
Yeah.
we're gonna hold these guys back and raise them up for the expansion.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're gonna go with line breeding if that's the case, and I am not worried about that. It'll save us, upwards of $100 replacing rabbits.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, in between getting the egg layers and then the rabbits, we did the meat chickens. And that was like a good practice before we really got the rabbits.
right.
Because it was like, we brought home these cute little chicks.
Oh yeah.
And, the girls are out there holding them and we're all watching them and it's so cute. But, I mean, right away, these are here for 9 or 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they're going in the freezer.
Yeah.
And, you just kind of kept... You
Yeah.
kept saying that, and they were fine.
Right.
You know, it was
we
like-
got a picture of the youngest holding one of the meat bird chicks, just smiling.
Oh,
biggest
yeah.
smile in the world.
Yeah, I mean they're super cute to have,
Yeah.
and then they're really stinky.
Yeah, and it's about the first 2 weeks they
Yeah.
were pretty, looking like normal chicks.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
Yeah, it's like okay, 6 more weeks.
6 more weeks and you're going in the freezer, and I don't have to smell you
Yeah.
anymore.
But I mean, they were another one. I mean, we took them out in the yard and gave them sunshine. It wasn't like they were just holed up in a
Right.
dark room just
Right.
because they were going to be roast chicken
And
one of these
there's
days.
no way we could have had them in the basement.
Oh
No
gosh.
frickin' way.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the first set of chickens we had in the basement in a brooder. And it was March that we got them because we got them as the spring chicks.
Yep.
And yeah, they were in our basement and I mean, we were down there constantly just watching them and giving them treats. And then the second layers we got in August. We did a fall flock. And so they were just out in the garage. But they were,
Right.
I mean, the kids were still out there often, but I mean, not as often.
Yeah, I mean they weren't used to the meat chicks because they did start stinking pretty bad.
Yeah. But I mean, the fall layers we had out in the garage too.
Oh yeah, fall layers, they weren't out there because there wasn't a lot of room out there because we have gotten all the stuff in the garage, like the ATVs and things like that are.
But they were in that round thing for a while.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then we put them in that big cage. That's when we're having issues when we put them in that rolly cage.
Yeah.
Because that thing's pretty big and it
Yeah.
takes up a lot of the garage space.
Yes. Yes, it does.
But yeah, when they were in the playpen, that actually worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
They were always, we'd open up the garage and they'd sit over there and watch them.
Yep.
And pat them as they could.
But yeah, I mean, we all know how Facebook is. That, people feel like they don't have a filter sometimes. And I've gotten comments from people that are like, I don't even want to talk to you anymore because, you do this stuff. And it's like, okay.
Bye. Don't let the door
Like-
hit you on the way out.
Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it's sweet.
I mean, how do you think people, seriously, people would say, well, I would rather go to the store. And it's like, do you realize how the animals at the store were treated before they were at the store?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not born wrapped in cellophane
Right.
on a shelf.
The only thing you need to tell somebody like that is, have you ever looked up a CAFO? And that's for cows. Based on the look you're giving me,
I don't know.
You'll have to look it up.
Haven't.
But I mean, that's the big, huge feedlots that you have thousands of cows next to each other. Well, we have the place down the street, Honeybee Acres, and they got what, 6 cows?
Yeah.
5 cows, somewhere around
I
there.
don't know.
I mean, we drive by them all the time, and that's nothing like that stuff.
Well, it's like we watched that Morgan Spurlock, the chicken movie.
Oh yeah,
and like he did the
Super
Size Me movie, and we found that he had done a chicken. I can't remember what it's called. It's probably on Netflix or Amazon or something, but he kind of went through trying to start a chicken business.
Yeah, like
And
actual
like a restaurant, like, and have, raise the chickens, butcher them, do the restaurant. And it was really interesting to, like, he said something like, so when it says free range chickens, that only means that they're outside like 20 minutes a day. Like, it doesn't mean anything.
He had it figured out where if he put like a 20-foot by 20-foot extension on a 250-foot long building that went to the open air, he can consider the chickens free.
It was free ranging, yeah.
Are you freaking kidding
so
me?
it's like, people get so stuck on what they're reading that it's like, okay, it doesn't even mean what you think it means.
Right.
They just want it to sound nice.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we have done pretty good teaching the girls this stuff, and we've done pretty good being able to handle this. And we literally don't know what we're going to get day to day.
Yeah.
So.
Well, just like anybody with animals.
Right. You just take it step by step, and you learn as you go. And you are dead right. The more animals you have, the more problems you're going to have.
Yeah. But I mean, I went to the grocery store today for the first time in a long time, and just walking around looking at meat prices alone is like, I'm glad we're already established, and we've already got this mindset. And
yeah, because it's getting bad. I mean, would you see $5 for a gallon of milk today?
Yeah. So we get a gallon of raw milk delivered. I mean, we're super lucky that we found this connection. And I'd been paying $5, for each gallon. And at first, when I started, it has to have been close to a year.
Yeah, probably.
That I've been doing this. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm spending $5 for a gallon of milk. Like, really, is it that big of a difference?
Well, it's $4 for a gallon, and you're just giving it $5,
that's
so
true.
you don't have to break the dollar.
That's true, and he's delivering it, so technically it's still $5. And it's like, well, we really don't drink a lot of milk, so I can the rest, and now we freeze dry the rest. But it's like, you know what? If the girls are going to drink milk, at least I would like them to be drinking something that I know is good, and it is actually very good.
Oh yeah. I would much rather have that over the whole milk or the 2% you get at the store.
And so I went to the store today because he didn't deliver last week, and we're going to be out of town next week. So I'm like, well, I'll just get a half a gallon of regular milk just to, just in case they want some, with dinner or whatever. $3 for the half a gallon. So I'm like, well, that's crazy. And then sometimes it's like, well, the half gallon is more than the gallon. So I'm like, okay, well, how much is the gallon? It was $4.99. So it was like, for crappy store brand milk, it's $4.99 a gallon, and here I am paying $5 for, like, put in the gallon jug that day, fresh
Straight up
raw milk.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I guess I don't feel so bad anymore. But
I mean, that's the biggest thing you have to get over doing this is not having that pet mentality for every single animal you have.
yeah, And it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, I guess it's not. I guess it's not hard. Once, like these kits, we already know at 12 weeks they're getting cold and put in the freezer. Or,
we'll hold back anywhere from 1 to 3, depending on what they are. If I get a majority of females, well, we're going to add 3 females. If they're a majority of males, we're going to add 1 male, and I'll go buy 3 females.
But yeah, no one is surprised in 12 weeks when, wait, we're doing what?
Right.
That's the timeline. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Same with the meat birds. 8 weeks, that's what happens. Mm-hmm. Like, it's on the calendar.
Yep, it's on the calendar, and we tell the girls, go say goodbye. Spend some last little bit of time with them. You can give them a treat, but we're done.
Yeah, and we'll have some more.
Yeah, and I am hoping that's the way it goes with the rabbits, that we can just keep going and going and going and alternate and do a little bit better.
Yep.
And we've had to cull things because they're too far gone.
Yeah, there was the one, and I mean, the oldest still talks about it. This was probably last summer that we had to cull this one because it was injured too badly.
Yeah.
And it was an egg layer, and so we butchered it and looked inside, and she got to see all the egg production, like all the eggs that it was making, and it was like,
well, that was the bully that we did.
Oh, was it? Yeah, it was.
We just called the injured one just to do it because she was so far gone.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and then we got rid of the bully because it was like, well, we don't want to have to do this again to somebody else.
Right.
So yeah, we did do that. But yeah, I mean, she still talks about seeing all the eggs inside that she was going to be laying. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what? If that's what we can get out of this bad situation, then that's awesome.
Right. Right. I mean, and it was a named chicken.
Yeah.
And we were at, when we first started with the chickens, it was, okay, we have the pet mentality. We're going to name all these guys. We're going to spoil them we're going to treat them, to not having the pet mentality. We're still going to treat them correctly. But if something happens, we need to handle it.
Yeah, these new ones, they don't have names. I think 2 of them, the spotted ones, are Snowy and Blizzard.
Right.
But other than that...
And those are the girls' doing. That's not our doing.
Yeah.
Our doing was we named the entire original flock.
Yeah.
But, our breeders for the rabbits are named. And we've had to call one of them because they're just not producing.
Yeah, and we'll still name all the other breeders because we've got to have some kind of record keeping.
Right. And I'm not gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Because that's just not how we work.
But yeah, when we had to dispatch Carrot Cake, the oldest bunny.
Yep.
I mean, she wasn't out there for the entire thing, but she came out and saw.
Yeah, it was from dispatch to I had it bled out, or I had Carrot Cake bled out over the bucket. Not, I didn't have her skinned yet. And she came out and watched from the skinning process all the way through.
Yeah, which is a huge
Yeah.
progress from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we don't ever tell them they have to go see this.
No.
We don't tell them, okay, you're learning this today. It's,
right.
Hey, this is what we're doing today. You guys are free to come and go as you please. Here's what you might see. That kind of stuff. So.
Right. Yeah. They need to learn how to do this, and they need to learn it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And you have awesome days like getting 7 kits out in the nest box and being able to go out and play with them, to really bad days of losing a couple of hens.
Yeah.
Or an entire litter of kits because something happened. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they might cry a little bit, but they do pretty good.
I mean, I think when we first did the first set of rabbits, I think I know you said you cried. I think I was upset. It's just...
It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
It never is. That part is never easy. But I can't have the pet mentality when it comes to that because it needs to get done or else we are never going to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, if we weren't going to... If this wasn't going to be how it ends, we wouldn't be doing any of it.
No. Because I can't have 100 rabbits sitting here at the house not doing anything and feeding them.
Right.
Because feed ain't cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And replacing a rabbit is about the cost of a bag of feed.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All right. So I would say, as we get down to it, it's going to come to, we still care for these animals. The girls still treat some of these animals like their pets. Like, they spoil the chickens. They throw them scraps and food, and same with the rabbits.
Yeah.
I mean, dinner scraps go to the rabbits, or go to the chickens, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I think you took a big thing of stuff out to them today. And the rabbits get whatever the girls pick.
Yeah, I mean, we even have the floor tiles that we keep in the freezer to give the rabbits, when it's hot out. It's not like we just go, well, they're just doing a job out there anyway. I mean, we still do stuff for them.
Which is a very good reminder. Thank you for reminding me to put those back in the freezer tonight since it's going to be 95 tomorrow.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is just, we're not doing this. We don't just enjoy killing animals. Like, that's not why we do it. And, I mean, yeah, if you're going to eat meat,
you got to know where it's
you got to know where it's coming from. And, I mean, we're planning on having the chicken processing class. Once we get the meat birds here, we'll have a better idea of when that will be scheduled. So if anybody local is interested, just keep a lookout.
Yeah.
We'll probably post it in our group first. And then go from there. We'll probably have like 6 or 7 spots.
Probably 6 seats. I think we're going to get a dozen birds, and then we'll have 6 to play with just in case.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
Yep.
And reality is, when it comes down to it, if an animal is too far gone or too injured, we're not going to spend a ton of money to keep it around.
Yeah, we're not going to take a chicken to the vet.
Right.
That's pretty much what we're saying.
Right. And even with, the blind cat.
Yes.
The $17,000 blind cat.
Yes, which luckily the rescue paid for. We did not pay for.
Yes.
But yeah.
That's not happening. That is not happening at this household. That is... No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We're not gonna put up with it. When I was a kid, different ball game. Oh, save the animal. Spend as much money as you have to. Why do you have to put the animal down? And now it's like, well, if it approached $1,000, we need to have that conversation.
Yeah.
And if it's a rabbit that's not producing kits, or a hen that is bleeding and it's not really fixable, sorry, I'm getting called.
Yeah. And that's just how it is.
So, but it is what it is.
Yep. So, I mean, don't let anybody make you feel bad.
Right.
For doing this. You're doing this to help your family. I mean, everybody has seen the meat prices out there. Everybody saw what happened, a few years ago when you couldn't get anything into a locker and, nothing was available. And this makes us feel like we're a little bit more comfortable.
Right.
We have meat being produced on our property. I never thought that would happen. I mean,
no,
we don't have a big property.
No, we don't.
We can't have cows. We can't have pigs. We found something that is really easy and doesn't make any noise and doesn't bother anybody.
Right, and we may add quail. I mean, you have kind of you've been kind of mentioning that for the past couple of
Yeah,
weeks.
well, with the problem with the meat birds is we are reliant on them being at the store.
Yeah.
So we have to go buy the meat birds every time we want to do this. And then it's like, well, how is that self-sufficient?
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
buying these at the store every other year.
Right. It's not a closed system, and that's what it is. You got to go, and I've heard anywhere from $2 to $6 for a chick.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we are going to the store and buying feed.
Mm-hmm.
We put in the whole rabbit fodder area. We just got some comfrey that came up from when I ordered from Brian at the Lots Project. So if you guys in the northern states, he's from Minnesota, so it's going to grow.
Yeah, get it while
in
you
Illinois,
can get your
and
hands on it.
He's leaving pretty soon and probably won't be selling it, so order some soon. We'll put a link in our show notes for that. But I got those a couple days after we got back from Tennessee, and I planted them, and it's already coming up.
Yeah, there are 3 or 4 leaves already coming out.
Yeah, it was like, holy cow.
And I think that's been doing better than the one that we got from Nicole's ever did.
The one from Nicole's did really good, but I think it was being in the pot over the winter. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
And it probably just went, screw this.
Yep.
I want to live in Tennessee.
Yeah. I'm going to bring up the frozen north.
Yeah. So, we're trying to cut back on food by having that fodder and feed them that. It may not do as much this year.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see. If it doesn't take off, then I have some other ideas. We have all that hay too that we can put down like they do the grass seed. See if we can get
the straw.
Yeah, or the straw that's in the shed.
Yeah.
See if we can get that to grow as well.
Yep.
Put it over the seeds and see if that'll help keep everything damp and play with it.
Yep.
So
we're trying to fill in the holes.
Yep. So pretty much about it.
That's it. We got our garden planted.
Mm-hmm.
We got our axe throwing target built.
Yes, that was fun.
You play hard. You work hard. You can play hard, and that's what we did yesterday.
Yeah, I busted my butt to get the garden done. I was up at 5:30 in the morning yesterday. We had the garden ready, and I think you were planted by 11.
It was early afternoon. I think I was done. I broke my toe, so it took me a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Planting with a broken toe.
Then I just got. I ran somewhere to go do something else. I don't remember what exactly it was, but I went to go do something. Oh, to go up to Menards. To go replace the bow rake that I broke.
Yeah.
Broke that in the morning. Got that warrantied out, 15-year warranty, so we got that handled. But yeah, we just started going, and we never stopped yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't stop until about 10. I think I finally went to go sit down with the neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe 8:30, but still.
So yeah, now we have an axe throwing target in our backyard.
Yeah, and that was literally thrown together in 5 hours, including a trip to the store for lumber.
Yep.
So
that will be fun.
Mm-hmm. Just blow some steam.
Yep.
And you don't have to go buy ammo, which is even better.
Yes. That is a lot better.
So you just got to sit out there and listen to the axes hit the board.
Yep.
Dunk.
It's pretty satisfying. Our neighbors love us.
Oh, yeah. Well, one does for sure.
Yeah. The one that we'll share the target with loves us. The other neighbors don't really love us, but that's okay.
So.
All right.
I'll see you guys next time.
All right. See you on the homestead where something is always growing, eating, or cooking.